go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives by this point of pale light.
We shall prevail.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to the Internet Space Program.
GM, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to another MoonDAO Town Hall. How's it going, Pablo, GM?
It's going well. Yeah, lots of cool news in the MoonDAO community over the last week. So, yeah.
Things are cooking behind the scenes, some of it in the forefront, but also some other cool stuff going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Lots of exciting stuff happening in the world, too. We had the SpaceX IPO last week. Big moment, obviously, for a lot of eyeballs on the space industry and a lot of excitement over that IPO.
Yeah,
it's come down to earth a little bit. Well, it did take off, obviously, from the first day, but it's kind of obviously pulled back here a little bit after the initial fervor.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have already commented on this, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see everyone who made money from that IPO reinvesting it into the space economy, and different startups so receive more funding. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that happening. So I think the second order effects of the IPO will be really cool.
Yeah, I saw some stat that was something like how many new millionaires it created essentially with the early kind of SpaceX employees. I think there was a couple thousand new millionaires that were created out of that IPO. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be people who want to spin off and do their own thing or go in their own kind of direction or have a cool idea. So it should help accelerate the space ecosystem as a whole. I just saw in the news that the
workers that are now millionaires.
right.
Pretty cool.
Who was the guy who did the wall art, the graffiti for Facebook, and just took the stock, became rich. But yeah, I'm sure there's some cases like that with SpaceX. But yeah, well, welcome also World Cup too. Lots of obviously World Cup action. We're going up against another match, I believe. We're going to be doing that for the next couple weeks. We got to compete with the soccer madness.
Switzerland, Bosnia.
Switzerland, Bosnia.
To my Bosnian friends.
Yeah. US tomorrow. Also a holiday, but yeah. Had to cheer on Colombia yesterday.
Yeah,
it was a good game.
Actually, well, one of my Bosnian friends recently joined the Space Acceleration Network. I looked over his shoulder as he was onboarding to see how he's going through the new onboarding flow, which seems to be working pretty well. Especially now that we have these citizen links where you can invite someone else to become a citizen. You can pay for their citizenship, and then they get a link that's a magic link where they don't need any gas or any wallet or anything like that, and then they can onboard immediately. Quick little plug. But my friend did that, who is Bosnian, so shout out to Dean.
One of our newest citizens, which is cool. Yeah. There's been a lot of activity in the network. Yeah, many new citizens, some new teams. We'll jump into that here in our kind of weekly update. But yeah, we can kick things off. There's some important a lot of important things going on right now, so might as well just jump straight into it. So yeah, first and foremost, on the agenda, we have the overview flight vote, which is live right now. It went live on Monday. We also have the executive lead election, Q3 project funding, so a chance to get your project, your space project funded in this next cohort, this next cycle, and a few updates from the network. So
I was just reading under the project thing. I love the AI. It says spoiosing ribet galentiador.
yeah. Don't pay attention to all the little things. We're just using this as a visual stimulus unit, staring at our faces.
238 UTC.
Right. Oh, in 2024. What is it talking about? All right.
Dates. All right. The AI is having a.
Ignore the dates. Just pay attention to the titles, folks. We'll try to correct things as we go. This was spun out here just before the meeting. So yeah, the overview effect flight. Obviously, we did 45 days of fundraising. We've been doing over 30 days of due diligence with 12 commercial space companies. The vote is now out to the community. Like I said, it went out on Monday. I think we've gotten, last I checked, there were about 24 voters that had chimed in as of right now. The results are going to be locked until we release the results on Monday. So up to June 22nd is the deadline. We essentially have 3 major options in front of the community right now.
And one comment, because I've seen a couple people asking about this, is option B includes not just potentially multiple seats on a stratospheric balloon, but also if a couple of people have chimed in that they think Virgin Galactic is the thing we should aim for. Option B keeps that option open. So just want to make that clear that option B encapsulates both of those. It's keeping our options open for both. So
yeah. So essentially, option A would be to commit now to a seat for just Frank White on a stratospheric balloon company. There is some uncertainty about when exactly those sorts of operations might be ready, who would be the best provider. I mean, we would do we have been doing our due diligence, but there is a lot of uncertainty around that. Essentially, option B, as Pablo said, is to keep our options open, raise more funds is what it boils down to, in order to be able to fly 2 members of the community would be the goal, whether that's on a stratospheric balloon or a suborbital flight. But we'd be keeping our options open here, and yeah, it would just basically entail more fundraising for the community, whether directly or some more indirect partnerships, things like that. And then option C is essentially canceling the mission, scrubbing the launch, no flight for Frank or the community, and issue refunds to all contributors. So deadline is June 22nd, next Monday. If you contributed, you have overview tokens in your wallet, and you can cast your votes now. So love seeing the flurry of activity here. 24 voters within the first couple days is really great. We have comments coming in from White Human in YouTube voicing their support for option B, which is great. If you are a voter, definitely do cast your vote. That goes for everyone listening here today. And yeah, next week we'll have the results from the community in terms of what direction they want to go. So a decision governed by the contributors, the people who are supporting this mission. Cool. And again, this is another kind of moment for the MoonDAO community to make decisions. Per the MoonDAO Constitution, we do have executive leads that are elected on a staggered yearly basis, essentially one every year for a 3-year term. Pablo was initially elected in 2023, I guess, in August of 2023. So he's coming up to the end of his first 3-year term, and we are announcing the opportunity for people to put their name in the hat for this process, or to nominate someone that they think would be a great executive lead for MoonDAO. Pablo is eligible for re-election. We have in our constitution a limit of 2 terms, essentially. But from now until July 13th, nominations are open. So any VMooney holder can nominate the person they think would be the best or a great executive lead for the DAO. I'll create the election channel here in Discord shortly, and you can post the nominations there, or you can, and the candidates can reaffirm their candidacy there. We'll have a town hall for any candidates on July 23rd. So it'll be a Q&A. No matter the number of candidates we'll have, it'll still be an opportunity for you and the community to ask questions about the direction the DAO has been going or is going to be going in the future, just to get more of your voice heard and hear from the candidates directly. We'll open up for a week-long vote, and we should have the announcement or the new term kicking off on August 1st. And that will be, actually, this is another error on the Notebook LM presentation. This is with the vMooney token, the voting, not overview token, just to be very clear here. And nomination deadline, July 13th.
In here. This will be the first time that we're doing a
re-election.
Re-election within the Constitution. So yeah, it's good to exercise these. I recommend that people nominate others, and that we have someone that comes up from the community that can give ideas, that can sharpen our ideas as a DAO, sharpen the ideas around the direction of the DAO and how we can improve. Makes us more strong. So yeah, even though I'm the founder here, and running against me might be a little intimidating or something like that, potentially, I still highly recommend that we have kind of like a public discussion about how we can improve MoonDAO, ideas for the future MoonDAO, a vision for how we can achieve our goals. So I think that this is really healthy, and and also it gives us information about how we want to run these re-election processes in the future. So the Constitution is something that we've updated and evolved over time, and especially as you kind of like go through the first iteration, or we've written stuff down on a piece of paper, but until we actually go through the whole process, usually there's kind of unexpected things. So I recommend that someone runs up against me, and that we can have the kind of go through that whole process, because it'll make the DAO stronger. So yeah.
100%. Yeah. I mean, uncontested elections aren't great. This is a space program that is governed by and for the people. So just having multiple candidates throwing their hat in the ring is a very healthy thing, just for the dialogue and for best practices in a democratic process, essentially. So yeah, if you do know somebody who you think would be a great potential executive lead, please nominate them, or please put yourself forward.
And one more thing, it is worth noting that last year we basically had kind of a vacant seat. So the Constitution allows for up to 3 executive leads, but last year, we kind of ran with vacancy. So yeah, worth noting that we want to have kind of like a it's the triumvirate, or like three leads as we go. So whoever runs up against me, there's going to be in the next round, I guess, a re-election for Ryan, and then a vacant seat. So we will want to kind of think about how we want to make sure that there's always strong leadership within MoonDAO, there are some complications, I guess, with like having 3 leaders and a vacant seat at the moment. But this is why we need to like exercise these things, so we can like run into all of these edge cases and make sure that we actually at least map out a course and territory for all kinds of permutations of leadership, I guess. So yeah,
totally. Cool. But if you have any questions about the executive branch election, obviously sound off in the general channel on Discord. Yeah, moving on. The next big thing is the Q3 project cohort. It's essentially open now. If you have a space project research idea related to engineering or hardware or software or outreach, IRL events, all those things are like legitimate uses. We have funding available. about $23,000 in funding available for Q3, and another max funding per project of $4,600 essentially. You can throw your idea into ideation right now. The Senate will go through and give feedback. You'll need to officially submit your proposal, but I encourage you to submit it into ideation right now. Talk through it with the community, develop it into a full proposal, find your teammates, make it a strong proposal, and formally submit it by July 9th. That's the deadline. So we're about 3 weeks out, I believe, from the deadline, exactly 3 weeks out. Senate will provide some feedback and review, and you can revise them, and then you will actually pitch your project to the community. And the community are the ones that decide, who or which projects are going to go forward. So pro tip here, we always say this, but you should optimize the amount you're asking for. Don't just try to backfill the max budget. Frame it realistically around what you need. If you lower the budget, you probably increase your chances of actually getting approved, as the DAO might evaluate as having a higher potential ROI or less risk essentially. And we could fund more projects that way. But if you do need the max, obviously the max is there. We just don't encourage people to purposefully try to fill out every dollar essentially.
Yeah. And I saw a comment out there that was that maybe there's some confusion around how these work. They're pretty light, quote unquote, strings attached around this. It's non-dilutive funding, and although we like to support work that is open sourced, there's no requirement that you open source, everything that you're doing. So I've kind of seen that as a mental block that maybe some startups have around receiving funding from MoonDAO, because they think, oh, their IP is gonna be open source or something like that. And that's not the case at all. And we really would like to see more startups, at least funding a portion of what they're doing via MoonDAO and receiving the support of the MoonDAO community, because it's not just the funds that we allocate in any one batch, but we also support by giving you guys a platform to talk about the work that you're doing, to hire from the MoonDAO community, to sell within the MoonDAO community. So it's not just receiving the grant, but also kind of the broader support from Ryan and myself and other people in the MoonDAO community. So
yeah, it's a great project idea. Obviously, it doesn't have to support the full operations, or probably wouldn't support the full operations of what some of these startups want to do. But if there's a small project component that they would like to have some funding for and tie that into the MoonDAO network, we would love to see that. In quarters past, we've seen about 10 projects or so go through the Senate review, and then typically about half of those are funded. We do have either the budget limit or the 50% limit essentially. So it's a competitive funding cycle, but we'd love to see some really strong proposals for our Q3 cohort here. We do have a question about European students being able to participate in the contest. I'm assuming they're talking about the cohort funding. And yes, it's open to people from anywhere. You can submit the proposals on our website essentially. There just are currently, I guess, some GDPR restrictions within Europe that might have to be navigated around to be able to submit your project essentially. But there's nothing there that would exclude people from Europe from participating. We've had projects from Europe in the past as well.
Yep. Yeah. Just to be clear, we're open to anyone from anywhere in the world to participate. However, Europe has very confusing data rules when it comes to blockchain. So we're still kind of trying to get the right sort of systems in place for blockchain applications. But that said, we do aim to be open and accessible to everyone, including Europe. So.
But yeah, share your ideas and ideation now, get the ball rolling, and start formulating your full proposal within the next couple weeks here by the July 9th deadline. And that same day, we'll also be having our Q2 final reports. So final reports from projects that are wrapping up their work, which I think we're expecting around 5 or so. So yeah, those are kind of the major governance updates. These are just more network updates, a lot of activity in the network lately, which is really great to see. Some new citizens. I think the biggest name obviously is Nicole Stott. Really excited to get NASA astronaut Nicole Stott into the network. She's our newest citizen. Nicole's awesome. She was involved with us on our zero gravity flight a couple years ago, but you know, she's an astronaut, aquanaut, artist, does amazing work all over the place. Yeah, a few other names. I didn't have time to add the actual profile pictures today, but Roger working on spaceport concepts, and Evan and Austin, who does space and robots and space robots, which is cool. Former NASA intern, kicking off his own startup. Maybe he's got a proposal for us, and a few other folks that have joined recently and haven't added their profiles, like Dean, that Pablo was mentioning earlier. But yeah, welcome to the network. A lot of activity in the past week, which love to see. Some community contributions from folks. This is another reminder that we have retroactive rewards every quarter. If you're doing work independently, you can just go to moondao.com/contributions or log into your dashboard and submit what you got done this week. So long as it's not like directly project related, but it's something that you've completed, you can submit that work. Brings great visibility to other members of the DAO. Like if you're working on a cool project, it just kind of helps surface that to the community. Yeah, Maria Alejandra, she has her own project right now, but she's also working on another initiative to open more pathways to aerospace for Colombian women, submitted that contribution. Iman Jahangir, our second astronaut, was in Puerto Rico with Deborah Martorell doing some outreach with a New Shepard capsule, which was really cool. And there was another one too that I had got erased here when I was doing this, but submit your contributions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lightweight way to have the community celebrate work that you're doing. So there's like a little bit of rewards that make up for the cost of citizenship, but then also it's just a good way to get visibility around the work that you're doing, and you might have other currently unknown friends within the MoonDAO community that might say, "Hey, actually, I'm working on something similar," or "That's really interesting. I'd like to support it." So yeah, just a good way to kind of get the word out around the work that you're doing.
Increase your voting power, get some rewards. You can use those rewards in the marketplace, for example, or send them to your bank account, or support the work you're already doing, essentially. Really, really lightweight way to do things.
We have a question here around the project system about whether or not it's possible to upload more than one project. So I don't think there's any restriction or anything like that within the project system or the constitution to submit more than one project, but I would recommend focusing on one project and doing that project really, really well versus having multiple projects. Just my 2 cents, having like seen this, many times. I think it's better to just focus on one thing, give updates on that one thing, and yeah, just my own thoughts and reflections. Haven't seen this, but there's no restriction.
Yeah, no restrictions. I've basically given the same sort of guidance to other people that have asked this in the past. Like, I don't think it's an issue if you're leading one project and maybe helping out or contributing on another project, but leading 2 projects or proposing leading 2 projects could be complicated. And I think the community generally would rather see, one strong project come forward, ensure that you're delivering great results and all that before they would want to commit to, 2 projects from the same lead at once. There might be more questions about your ability to deliver on both, I guess. That's what we've seen, as Pablo said. But Yeah, more updates from the ecosystem, from the network. We had the most recent team is the U.S. Space and Rocket Center Education Foundation out of Huntsville, Alabama, which is really cool to see. They're the ones behind Space Camp USA and all the training down there. Obviously, we partnered with them on our Launchpad fundraiser last year, and they're also involved as a getting a small amount from the Send Frank to Space campaign as well. So they're slated to get 1% to support training for future astronauts and STEM education and outreach. They do cool work, and there's some other kind of cool stuff in the works here. Austin and a bunch of other people were out there recently for the ribbon cutting and groundbreaking. Check out those videos on YouTube, but excited to welcome them as a team in the community and working with them to get more opportunities available to all you citizens in the network here shortly. And also a Heart for Space. So this is Iman's organization. He also joined recently as well, listed his upcoming book. So you can pre-order Iman's book, Heart for Space. It's going to be coming out in August, I think late August. And yeah, within the MoonDAO marketplace for just $26, you can pre-order his book, a signed copy of his book, plus a signed photo in his flight suit and a MoonDAO mission patch. So it's just really cool. We're just trying to help support Iman, our second astronaut, get some more pre-orders here for him, and help as much as we can as a community to support his successful book launch here in August. I'm excited to read the book too. He's got he interviewed I think 8 other astronauts, really awesome names, including our the NASA administrator and Nicole Stott and other folks, Chris Zembrowski. So excited to see that book, but definitely pick up a copy in the MoonDAO marketplace. Use your rewards, get a book. It's cool.
Yeah, it's always incredible to see all of the kind of downstream creative pursuits that Iman has taken on since going to space, and all the people that he's interacted with, all the kind of impact that he's had, going down to Brazil, all the stuff that he's been able to do since then. Yeah. But yeah, just want to kind of put it out there for anyone else that has something that they'd like to put on the MoonDAO marketplace, consider becoming a team. This is like our kind of tier for organizations to help them fund the work that they're doing, to sell to the community, and to post jobs. So get in contact with either Ryan or myself if you lead an organization and would like to put something on the marketplace, or if you're interested in funding or adding stuff to the jobs board. So
yeah, the more teams in the network, the more citizens in the network, it kind of becomes a each one helps each other. More opportunities, more teams, more opportunities for citizens, and the more citizens we have, the more appealing it is for teams to list their offerings here in the network. So really tap into those network effects is what we're trying to do with the most mission aligned people in the space industry, and just create this kind of neutral operating system for a lot of different people to coordinate, operate, transact on chain. So yeah, 3 Media asking, is the book available now in the marketplace? Yes, it is in the marketplace now, so you can pick up Iman's book and a number of other things too. There's some really cool stuff popping up in the marketplace. There's just a little cross section. There's a zero gravity flight. We're working on adding more stuff, space training opportunities. Just a quick update, the Inspired 24 spaceflight training class is on the marketplace, or was on the marketplace for September. That class is now full. So great to see, turnout there. They are targeting another class in January of 2027. So if you're interested in that, obviously you can reach out to Titan or, see the listing there in the marketplace. I believe it's a placeholder for now. You can get in your payment for that soon.
Yeah. I guess one more note, one thought that just kind of popped in my head is that there's like different ways to kind of think around like what is MoonDAO, and I think one of the more like apt analogies is that we're an operating system. We have kind of like these like basic ways of coordinating between people from all over the world. And you can place your application on top of our operating system, so you can create an organization and hook into the network that we're building. So and as a citizen, you can do the same. So we just offer like a bunch of little primitives to help people coordinate with one another, but really it's up to individuals to make the most use of it. So yeah, we're kind of just a little base layer of coordination, and so yeah, build your thing on top of us. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. We want to support a ton of different initiatives across the space industry. So yeah,
right. It's like, why do we want to duplicate efforts? Like, if there's already an awesome analog astronaut training facility, MoonDAO doesn't need to go build an analog astronaut training facility or buy land or manage that. Like, we can just work with somebody like Habitat Marte or Julia at Habitat Marte to do what he's doing really well, tap that in the network, bring these opportunities to citizens or other teams that want to put their open source lunar rover out there, things like that. So yeah, we don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. And that's really how we can kind of accelerate access to space and accelerate the space industry as a whole, coordinating across borders and coordinating on some of these efforts. Just a better coordination system, maybe a little bit of friendly competition at times too is good, of course. So, yeah, Bob, I put it on screen, but yeah, Bob's saying, come join me for cohort 6 in January 2027 if you want to do some more space training. So yeah, just a couple rehashing of important deadlines and dates here. The overview effect vote closes next Monday, so get in your vote if you contributed to Frank White's campaign by June 22nd. The Q3 cohort or grant application deadline is July 9th, so start getting your idea out in ideation and start working on the proposal now. Don't wait till the last minute. The executive lead nominations close July 13th, so nominate somebody or that you think would be a good leader for the DAO or brings good ideas to the DAO. And yeah, we'll do the project pitch day for the new Q3 cohort on July 16th. So those are kind of our upcoming dates to keep in mind. Yeah, that's all we got for network updates and governance updates. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to chime in now in the chat. Somebody is asking, is it necessary to pay to vote for this stage of Frank White's mission?
Nope. So you don't actually spend anything when you're voting. So if you're part of the overview mission, if you've supported and you have overview tokens, you're not spending those tokens. That's kind of a misconception that some people have. But of course, to get those tokens in the first place, you must have participated in supporting Frank. So if you hadn't done that, then don't worry about that. The vote isn't for you. Yeah.
There is a small gas fee, right? This is an on-chain vote, so it's like a fraction of a penny.
Yeah, it's one penny, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's the only cost associated with voting, is just to record it on the blockchain, which is just how the blockchain operates. You pay a tiny gas fee to record it on chain. So yeah, 1 penny.
Yeah, I also have some other things that I want to mention. So we'll post this on social media soon, but I want people here in the town hall who are tuning in to be the first to know, is we just got approval from Coinbase to use Apple Pay for on-ramping. So that's a huge win. It'll make things so much easier going forward in terms of on-ramping funds and contributing to the launchpad, or becoming a citizen. All these things that require on-ramping a little bit of ETH have now become a lot easier. And then also we're providing an integration for international folks to use MoonPay. Coinbase works really, really well for people within the United States. And yeah, we want to offer kind of multiple options for people to on-ramp from any part of the world. So that's really cool. And it will be live here very shortly, and we'll make an announcement on social media around it. So that's been, really exciting update. Yeah. But yeah, we've been really doing a lot of work across the app, and we have a new landing page that was put together that looks really good. Yeah, and then I just want to mention that we've been really busy, kind of still talking to a bunch of different carriers for Frank's mission. So even though this vote is happening within the community, we're still moving along a lot of the discussions with different carriers, and yeah, there's a lot of I guess cool things that are happening behind the scenes that we will when the time's right, we'll announce them to the community. But yeah, I think there's some really great opportunities for Frank. So yeah, it's been a really good week for MoonDAO. A lot of cool developments. So
yeah, excited to make it even easier. We constantly are striving to make it easier for people to operate and enter into our ecosystem. I know that's been a recurring pain point for some people. But yeah, I think this is a great, excellent step in the right direction, just to make it all kind of intuitive and easy for folks. But yeah, there's just a lot going on. If you haven't logged in to the MoonDAO dashboard in a while, definitely do that. Log your weekly contributions, check out all the changes, check out all the activity. It's really cool to see the activity feed flowing with stuff basically on a daily basis now, whether it's new citizens or new teams or new listings or new contributions. Just love to see that. So yeah, excited for what everybody's working on here at MoonDAO, or within the MoonDAO community, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff happening. So it's cool to see all these different things kind of come together. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some really fun announcements coming up in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned.
Yep. Somebody says they didn't get a registration invitation for today's town hall. I don't know what happened there, but if you go to moondao.com/events, you can always RSVP to any of our upcoming events. Try to put on things like the submission deadlines and other important kind of dates on the calendar as well. So moondao.com/events, or on the dashboard, it's embedded there too. So stay tuned with what's coming next. In any case, every week, same time, same place, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're here to talk space and update the community and some cool conversations. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. Relatively brief update today, but still a lot going on and a lot cooking behind the scenes. So stay tuned. And next week we should have a direction about the Frank White mission and where we go from here.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See ya.
Our world is not in good shape. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that we, as the crew of Spaceship Earth, we're kind of doing a terrible job of being the crew.
All the astronauts say when they get up top, they're like, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah. But explain to me what the overview effect is.
It is absolutely gorgeous. Overview effect is when you're looking through that cupola, it's like the bay window looking down on the Earth, and you see just that, the Earth as it exists with the whole universe in the background. You see the thin blue line of the atmosphere, and then when you're on the dark side of the Earth, you actually see this very thin green line that shows you where the atmosphere is. And what you realize is every single person you know is sustained and inside of that green line, and everything else outside of it is completely inhospitable. You don't see borders, you don't see religious lines, you don't see political boundaries. All you see is Earth, and you see that we're way more alike than we are different.
Booster ignition and liftoff.
The Artemis mission illustrated the difference between surface thinking and overview thinking. Seen from the surface of the Earth, we perceive difference, division, conflict. But from above the surface, we perceive unity, oneness, interconnection, and cooperation. This is an inflection point where humanity has a choice between the two. And our decision will influence life on Earth and off-world for millennia.
When I think about Frank floating and experiencing Earth out the window of a spaceship, I am totally humbled by that.
Frank White is somebody who's devoted the last 30 plus years to not only explaining what the overview effect is, but more importantly, what the implications of that shift in perspective is for our planet.
We don't often think about the ripple effect of stuff that we do. So those of you thinking of supporting Frank, it's not just about him going to space, it's the ripple effect from that experience when he comes back, and that's why we should send Frank to space.
We're inviting people to go beyond making a contribution and join the mission. It won't just be a flight, but also support for bringing the overview effect down to Earth. So join us in sending Frank to space.
Send Frank to space!
And bring him back.
It's time for us to fly Frank to space.
Let's get Frank to space.
Let's send Frank to space.
We are here to say, send Frank to space.
Send Frank to space! Send Frank to space!
Send Frank to space! Get Frank to space. Send Frank to space.
To engage in supporting the project of sending my friend Frank White into space.
Let's get this guy to space. Forget about me. Let's get Frank White to space. Tell them one more time.
Let's send Frank to space.